Hey folks, this is Sympathy from CG Virus here. Today we're going to create a procedural rain effect node for Blender Compositor. First of all, we're going to demo it and then we're going to create it. So you can download it from here. The link will be in the description. Also, we're going to use this Blender Compositor discache add-on. If you don't know about this one, you can see the full demo here, and the link will be in the description as well. And yeah, so let's download this one first here and here. All right, and this one I have already downloaded it and already installed it. So yeah, by the way, the discache add-on has been updated recently, so you can check it out, and you should download it again if you have not recently. So it is for 2.9. all right, so let's get started. So here is the zip file. So I'm just going to right click and extract it, the compositor extra nodes, and you will find the node here in the rain effect node as well as in our compositor extra node all. Okay, we have included both here. So now let's go to desktop and we're going for discache here. So I have already installed the Python file, so let's use this one. Okay, so let's drag it here and here we go. So yeah, so let's start working. So I'm just going to save it here first, and let's name it rain demo. Okay, let's save it as save as. Okay, so first thing first is basically we're going to append it. So let's press F4 and let's append, and I'm going to go to the desktop here, and this was our compositor nodes here, and you will find it in rain effect node. So let's go here, node, and here is a node tree, and this is the rain effect. Okay, so I can append it here. Also, you will find it in all, the compositor all. Okay, this node, and here will be also the node tree, and here are all of our nodes. So I'm just going to append it here, rain effect. Okay, so if you now want to see it here, Shift A, and this will be your rain effect. So if you want to see it here, here it is, your rain effect. Okay, so we're going to start working with it. Let's see. All right, so first of all, let's go for our project, that is our image. So here is our background image. We are going to overlay the rain in this image. All right, so let's create a rain effect. There we go. And let's talk about this architecture, what it does and how to do it. So first thing first is basically you can see that this is an alpha factor. The rain effect will output an alpha. So what you should do is basically go for a mix node and go for this alpha factor in the factor, and this will be your BG, the background image. Okay, so now you can change the color of your rain from here. If I just go here, yeah, you can see it here. You can change also the color if you want to, but for this one I'm going for pure white. All right, so first thing first, this is the offset animate. We're going to animate these guys later, and this is the amount. So if you increase it, the amount will decrease. Okay, if you decrease it, the amount will increase. So it's a reverse effect threshold system. So I'm going for a 20 and this is the opacity. Okay, opacity threshold. If you increase it, the opacity will increase. If you decrease it, the opacity will decrease. All right, so I'm just going for 2, and this is an angle, so you can angle it a little bit if you want to. Okay, so let's go for something like 30 degree angle. Seems good with this one. All right, so let's go with it, and let's connect it here, and let's see it here. Okay, so let's go for animation. So what you should do is basically create this one. Oh, by the way, let's see the texture as well. So if we go to the texture node editor, if you want to scale it up a little bit, how can you do it? Is basically go for a texture node editor here, and let's go to the brush, and you will find the rain effect here. Okay, so here is actually the everything is going on here. So if you want to change scale it up a little bit, you can do it from here. Okay, you can see where we can scale it up. We can also scale it down as well. So if you want to do it like this, you can do it like this. Okay, so I'm just reversing it. There we go. Okay, so for standard I'm going for 10. There is also a distortion. It is 5. Currently it is 5. If you want to do it in a crazy stuff, crazy distortion, you can do it like that as well. It will work as well, but you cannot see it before animating it. So let's animate it first. Let's go to the graph node editor. Graph editor, we will need it. So this is the X, this is the Y, and this is the Z. Z doesn't need anything. This is a two-dimensional stuff, so let's forget about the Z. X and Y. So X will go from left to right, Y will go from up to down. Okay, so let's press I to create an animation, and let's also give this one 1. So press I. So I need both fall down and left to right animation here. Okay, X1 and Y1. Okay, so now let's go to a last frame. So okay, I want to see it in preview. I'm going for a 50 frame of preview. So let's go here. Yeah, something like that, 50 frame. All right, let's actually create the project as 50 frame as well, so it will be easier. All right, so in 50 frame we're going to create 2 meter. So press I to create a frame. So if you want to select it, you can see it here and point, and here it is. So you can see that this is ease in and ease out. So you should not use this type of stuff with ease in and ease out. So I'm going to create a linear. So how can we do it? Is basically select all the curve here, press T, and go for linear. So it will be a linear animation. So if you want to preview it, you can preview it here. You can see how it is working. And if you want to create let's create, press T, press N, and we're going to create a modifier of cycle as well. And let's go to before and repeat motion with repeat with offset, and after repeat with offset. What it does is basically it will continuously loop through, not looping, it will offset the animation and it will continuously create these rain effects. Okay, so it is optional, so I'm just doing it for fun. All right, so now let's see a real-time preview here as well. So let's render it, and I'm coming back, and here is the render. So if you want to see it here, maximize, zoom in, here is your stuff. All right, so yeah, so I think you may get confused what this cycle do. If we go for a new frame here, suppose 71 or something, you can see that it will still animate the stuff for you. If we clear the cycle, it will not animate after 50. Okay, after 50 it will go still. So it's optional. If you want to do it like that, you can do it. And the cycle has a pretty good easy way of doing it. So suppose it was very much speedy. Suppose it is speedy, very much speedy. So you need to speed it down a little bit. How can you do it? Is basically go for this. Okay, so default S and default Y, something like that. Oh, all right. So the default Y should also have a cycle. Let's go for repeat with offset and repeat with offset. So now they are all animated. So suppose we have this, and suppose we want to go for low speed, less speed. You can press G and Y, and you can speed lower the speed here as well. So these are fun, and these are actually very much basic. So if you want to see some other tutorial, you can search for it. So anyway, so this was it, and Now let's see how to make it. Alright, so let's create this node. So first thing first is basically we're going for a distorted node here. So go here and go to the texture node editor. Let's go for a brush, and I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to name it rain, and let's use a node, and let's click this checker and go for a distorted node here, distorted noise, and let's see that noise as well. So I'm going for a texture here, and I'm going for rain. So let's see the color. So this is our color, so let's connect it with color, and here is our distorted noise. So we are going for an improved pollen here, and we're going for this one as an F2 to F1. Color 1 and color 2 is alright. So the size, for the size, we're going to create a math node here, and I'm going to create let's create a multiply, and let's create a 0.01, so it will be a granular level value, and connect it to size. Okay, and let's create a 10 of multiplication here. Alright, so first thing first is done, and now let's go here. For this one, we're going to create some stuff. So first thing first is basically let's scale it up as 100. In Y, we're going for a 0.1, and it will create this kind of stuff for us. Okay, and let's also give Z as 0.1, doesn't matter. And now we're going to create translate X node. So let's create actually first let's create a map range. There we go, and I'm going to clamp the value, and now what we can do is basically we can go for a translate node here, translate and we're going to use this translate as a wrapper. Okay, so both axis wrap node, because we need it for rotation as well. So now we're going for another transform node here, transform, and we're going to connect it here, and X and Y is alright, so we're going to use this angle. With this we can create this angle here, and for scale we're going for 2. Okay, so that's how we have created it. Why we're using scale 2? Because there are a repetition problem, so that's why we're going to use 2 here. And this map range, we're going to use it, but before everything else, what we should do is basically group it, or alright, let's create the multiplication first. So let's create a math node here and go for a multiply, and I'm going to create a 0.01 value for granular level, check clamp, and this will be in from min. There we go, and let's use something like 1 or something. Okay, no problem. On from max should be 1 to min should be 0, and let's get another multiplication here, and I'm going for a value of 0.1 here, 0.1, and let's connect it with to max. There we go. Okay, alright, so this will be our threshold, opacity, and everything we had. Alright, so let's connect those things, and let's go for 0. Here we go, and let's connect everything here. So let's create a group and in this group we're going for an offset, and let's name it animate offset animate. Okay, and offset animate, the minimum value, the default value actually, it should be this will be 1, this will be 0. Okay, and other things are fine. Then we're going to connect amount thresholds, and this one is this multiplication, map range from min multiplication, and this will be our amount thresholds. And to max this will be our opacity thresholds. And this will be our angle, so we can use this angle here. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to create name it rain. Alright, so let's use 1, and other things are pretty much fine. So let's see. Alright, so we're using amount threshold of 20. So by default it was 1, so I'm using 20 here, and in distortion we're going to use 5, and it will be done like that. So yeah, that's how we're working with it. By the way, there is a thing. If suppose let's see, if we go for 2 or 50, actually it is working fine, but sometimes it is rare, but you can see that sometimes. Let's go for 1, and let's go for 5 here, or 20. There we go. So if you see some kind of stripe like that, by default we're using 2. If you see some kind of stripe, then you should enlarge the scale up a little bit. I unfortunately could not do a masking setup and interactive setup here, so yeah, so this is the scaling thing we are doing here. But if you want to fix it, you can do it with the scaling as well. So yeah, so let's retrieve it to 10, and here we go. So that's it. I'm Father Sympathetic from City Virus, and we're going to see you next time. Bye bye.